They'd tossed her out there to die. Not quick, not messy, just slow. Quiet, like dumping a dying dog in the heat and letting the desert finish it. It was July in Mojave, one of those months where the air forgets how to breathe. Ridge Arrest lay dead still under a sun mean enough to split boards and blind horses that ran too long. Jack Mercer, 42, had seen enough hell to smell trouble before it showed its teeth. He wasn't soft. Couldn't be. Not after burying a brother, torching his own home, and losing the woman who once called him hers. But what he found that day ain't the kind of sight a man forgets. She stood by his fence line, the one he'd never fixed, barefoot, dress drenched to the knees, a burlap sack knotted tight over her head. No holes, no kindness. Her wrists were bound raw, the rope biting deep like barbed wire, and still, she didn't move, didn't fight, didn't scream. She just stood there, like she already knew no one was coming. You ever see something so wrong it makes your teeth hurt? Jack slid off his horse, said nothing, walked slow, like stepping toward a cliff with no bottom. Her voice cracked when she spoke, dry and soft. Please, take them off. Not a plea, not a cry, just hollow, like the words were all she had left. Jack's hands, rough from years of fence posts and ash, worked the knot. It was tied with hate. Took him minutes to free it. When the sack fell, it wasn't sin he saw, it was 19 years of someone else's cruelty. He didn't ask her name, nor where she crawled from. He just lifted her onto the saddle, gentle as if she might break, and rode back to the cabin. The trail was quiet, not uneasy, just the silence of two souls who'd both seen too much. At the ranch, Jack poured her a tin cup of water. She drank careful, every drop like it burned. He boiled a potato, left her the bigger half. Didn't explain. She sat by the fire, wrapped in one of his old blankets. Didn't speak for 20 minutes. Jack didn't push out here. Force only closes doors tighter. Then she finally said, soft, "They said if a man looked too long, he'd be cursed." Jack didn't blink. Don't sound like a curse. Sounds like cowards, she smiled, crooked, small, but real. Next morning, he found her hanging his shirts to dry. She wasn't asking to stay, and she wasn't asking to go, but by sundown, Ridge Rest was humming with talk. Some said she was Apache, some swore she was a witch. One drunk at the saloon swore she was a ghost Jack, dragged from the dirt and fell for Jack. Didn't care what stories they spun, he had fences. Splitting in the wind, a limping mare, and now a girl with rope scars who jumped when he coughed too rough. But that evening, something shifted. Two riders came down the south road. Didn't wave, didn't grin. Just sat their horses like the land owed them rent. Jack stepped out on the porch, the shotgun still hanging above the door. Inside, the girl went rigid, hands trembling, eyes gone wide, like she could smell their kind before she even saw them. They weren't here for talk, and Jack knew it. Men like that never came alone for long. He didn't know their faces, but he knew their breed. Too clean for wranglers, too cold for drifters. They rode easy, like men who thought the dust itself belonged to them. The taller one tipped his hat. "Looking for a girl," he said. "Red hair, sack over her head." Jack's stare didn't flicker. "Haven't seen her." The shorter man chuckled low. "She limps some. Pretty if you don't mind the quiet." Inside, she held her breath, fingers gripping the table edge like it might float her away. Jack stepped off the porch, steady, slow. "She ain't here. Best keep riding," the tall one smirked. "Ain't yours to keep, friend." That's when Jack's voice dropped heavy as thunder. "She ain't anyone's to keep. Not cattle, not property. She's a person." The men didn't draw or argue. Not yet. They turned their mounts, rode off slow, but the look they threw back said plenty. They'd return. That night, she didn't cry or speak. She just sat by the fire, holding a hawk feather she'd found near the fence that morning. Funny thing about feathers, they always turn up after storms. She glanced at Jack, voice barely a whisper. "They'll come back, maybe," he said. Next morning, she wasn't hiding anymore. She was walking the fence line in Jack's old boots, shirt tucked like she'd always belonged there. When Jack asked if she wanted to stay, she didn't say yes, just whispered, "I'm tired of running. Now listen close, if you've stuck around this far, you're the kind that believes folks can change." that maybe the West didn't burn away every trace of kindness after all. And if that's you best stay a while, 'cause the worst part, the part Ridgerest still whispers about, it's coming. So go on. Hit that little subscribe button and don't miss how this ends. Trust me, it's worth it. They came again on the third night. Not 2 this time, 4, no lamps. No greetings, just hoofbeats and slow, certain, like men who weren't scared of the dark. Jack heard them before they reached the gate. A man learns to wake to sounds like that after too many nights sleeping with one ear open. He stepped outside. Shotgun in hand but low, didn't aim. Not yet. The leader, same one, dismounted. Grant Teller. That name had rolled through border towns for years. Missing girls, rigged games, whiskey debts. Grant spat in the dirt. She belongs to the man who paid, he said. Jack didn't flinch. She ain't property. Grant stepped closer. She's cursed inside. She heard it all. But this time she didn't shrink or hide. She opened the door barefoot, wrapped in Jack's old quilt, eyes steady. You scared of me? She asked. The others looked lost. Grant took half a step back before he remembered to stand tall. You beat me, she said. You sold me. You left me for dead, said I'd bring ruin, but look who's shaking now. Jack raised the shotgun. Calm as sunrise, you'll ride out, he said, and if I see you here again, you won't ride out it. All. No one argued. No one needed to. They turned their horses and vanished into the black. When they were gone, she sat on the porch, not crying, just breathing like it was the first time she could. Jack sat beside her, quiet. Didn't talk. Didn't have to. After that night, peace came. Not the scared kind, but the earned kind, the kind that lingers when storms run out of rage. She didn't flinch anymore, walked the fence lines at dawn like she owned the light. Jack never questioned. He just watched, knowing he was seeing something mending itself. Then one morning a wagon rolled up the trail. Slow, worn. Inside sat a woman in a faded dress, shoes cracked, a child asleep in her lap. She climbed down, looked at the girl and whispered, I was with you back in Texas. Before they split us, the girl didn't cry, just helped her down, lifted the child and led them inside. That night, Jack said little, just opened the barn, pointed to the loft. There's room, and that's how it began. No speeches, no praise. Just broken people deciding they weren't finished yet. They fixed the South. Room. The new woman stitched quilts from old shirts and canvas. The girl planted herbs near the cotton tree. The kids sorted nails by size and sang when they thought no one listened. By spring, the town stopped whispering. Some waved, some left jars of peaches on the fence. No one asked questions. She never wore the sack again. But one day, she took it from a drawer, walked to the edge of the pasture, and hung it on the fence. Let the wind carry it, didn't chase it, didn't look back. Now tell me, how many folks you know been treated like nothing and still stood tall? How many been called cursed and still found room to be kind? The strongest ones ain't the loudest. They're the ones who never ask. Permission to matter, they just do. And if her story stirred something in you, if it made you think of someone who survived what should have ended them, hit that like button, maybe even subscribe. 'Cause out here in the West, we don't bury stories in silence, we tell them. And maybe, just maybe, you'll stick around for the next one.